Back again, this time for Game Week 28 team selection. I've made 2 transfers this week, including 1 differential owned by just 1.8% of managers. But first, as always, let's quickly review how Game Week 27 went. First, Raya. He only managed to get 3 points in Game Week 27, but he did manage to get some save points. That's actually the 4th time this season he's got it, so he doesn't get it often. So it's nice when he does, especially once Arsenal conceded that sloppy goal. Then into defence, Arsenal obviously conceded, so didn't get the clean sheet points, but Timber did get an assist. However, he was taken off very early, didn't get the extra point because he didn't go past the 60th minute and he got a yellow card. So yeah, it could have been a lot better. He could have got at least 5 points in that game, but didn't really go well for Timber in that game and he was subbed early. Then on to where my points came from. Munoz managed to get an unlikely clean sheet. I say unlikely because Henderson managed to save the penalty. And then on top of that, Munoz managed to get 14 defensive contributions, which got him an additional 2 points. And because of that, he got a bonus on top. So yeah, very happy with this return considering Munoz has not been his attacking self since his return to the side. The fact that he's gone on and got some defensive points instead, I can only be happy with that. Then Richards, I had doubts on whether to play him. Either I had to play him or Anderson because you know Anderson's going to get defensive contributions and he could get an attack in return. But I went with Munoz as the double up in defence a couple of weeks back because of this Wolves fixture. So I knew I had to stick with my guns on it and I had to just see it through despite Palace playing poorly. And it paid off for me, fortunately. Richard did only beat Anderson by 1 point, but every point counts and he got the clean sheet, even though Palace had an expected goals conceded of 1.63. So yeah, I can consider myself pretty lucky to get the double clean sheet. But I mean, I planned for it. I executed it in terms of playing them both. I stuck with my guns and it paid off. So I can't be too lucky. Then into midfield, Semenyo, in terms of attacking, didn't get any returns, but he did get defensive contributions. Managed to get 13 in the game, so that earned him an additional 2 points. So I'll take that because you're not expecting that from an attacking player like Semenyo. And then in Burmo, managed to get an assist after great counter-attacking play. Set up Sesko, who put it away very nicely, who is actually looking quite decent right now. The problem is he's only coming off the bench and getting these goals. If he was beginning to start, then could Sesko be a legitimate option? I mean, he's hitting form. The goals that he's scoring are very nicely taken goals, so he's clearly showing that he's good in front of goal. And United are now playing well, so if in a couple of weeks he is looking like he's starting regularly, maybe he could be an option. Whether you want to go for the United treble up though is another thing. And Bruno, Enzo Fernandez, they both blanked, so I'm glad I didn't go with Bruno as the captain. The person I did pick as captain was Erling Haaland. He managed to get an assist versus Newcastle, so I can consider that a good selection and a win. So overall that sees me at 1,619 points. I got 51 points total for Game Week 27. That gave me a rank jump of 56k all the way to 48k, just under 8,000 places I moved upwards. So you always take your green arrow when it comes. And actually going into the Monday evening kickoff, I had Bruno and Mbeumo to play. My rank movement at that time, I was only looking like a small red arrow, I think like 200 or 300 places. So I was really hoping for a return from at least one of the players. I got that, and that's what saw me move 8,000 places. So could have been better, but it could have been worse. So I'm always going to take a positive green arrow in the right direction. As I said at the beginning of the video, I've made 2 transfers. So let's take a look at the 2 moves that I've made. All right, so the first move I made was an easy one. Obviously, last week I talked about Dango and how much I wanted to get him in. I was considering moving Anderson out for Dango. Really glad I didn't do that because, yeah, I really think I would have regretted that. Seeing Anderson get another 5 points. He's probably the most consistent player in my team in terms of getting points. 5 points, 4 points, 6 points. Every week it's consistent. And if you can think about that going forward, like every time you get those points, they are adding to your overall score massively. And that could be the difference between a green and a red arrow. So I just see them as really important points. And I see no reason to get rid of Anderson. I'm really happy I didn't move him on last week. And now I have the opportunity to move on Enzo because it's been 3 weeks where he's blanked 2 points every week. Yeah, he's now got really difficult fixtures. Arsenal away, Aston Villa away, then Newcastle at home. Yeah, these aren't very good fixtures. And then even in game week 32, he's got Man City at home. So yes, you could put him on the bench. Yes, you could potentially play him in those games. I mean, he is playing for Chelsea. They do have good players. They could turn up in one of those games. But I really want to try something different. I really want to move to Dango. Like I mentioned, he's 1.8% owned. So any sort of attacking returns from Dango, and all of a sudden that's pushing me beyond managers who don't own him and just own Thiago. So I see a real benefit to it. He's got great fixtures: Burnley away, Bournemouth away, then Wolves at home. Most difficult fixture within that is obviously the Bournemouth away fixture, but I mean, I can see Bournemouth being the dominant side, having a lot of the possession, but Brentford hitting on the counter-attack with Dango, Thiago and Sharda. They're a good team attacking wise, so there's no reason why Dango couldn't get something in that game. And then after that, he's got Leeds away and Everton at home. So if I don't decide to wildcard in 32, it's a good fixture, Everton at home. So I see no reason why I shouldn't be bringing him in. And I've made that transfer. It's already confirmed. He's in the team. He's going to start against Burnley away. 14.4 points predicted over the next 3. Fantasy Football Hub. Enzo's predicted 14 points. I can't really see that happening. Yeah, I think Dango's is more realistic. But, I mean, he's more than capable of getting a goal, an assist, and all of a sudden he's got more than 14 points. So, like I said at the beginning, any points from Dango could really be positive for my rank. All right, moving on to my next transfer. And this is also a confirmed transfer as well. I've moved on Munoz after those 9 points. I've confirmed the transfer and gone in and got Van Dijk. The fixtures for Van Dijk: West Ham at home, Wolves away, then Tottenham at home. Again, same reason as Dango. Great next 3 fixtures. And beyond that, he's got Brighton away and then Fulham at home in game week 32. So again, if I consider not wildcarding in game week 32, I can always play Van Dijk against Fulham. Munoz, on the other hand, has got Man United away, Tottenham away, then Leeds at home. Yes, I could possibly play him in that game. Blank in 31, and then Newcastle in 32, who we never play well against. Yeah, I love owning Munoz. As he's proven, he can get you clean sheets, defensive contributions, attacking returns. However, he is very expensive. The fixtures are turning. He's got that blank in game week 31, so I'm getting ahead of that, bringing in a player that does play in game week 31 in Van Dijk. They're a very similar price, so it's an easy transfer to make. And Van Dijk, Liverpool seem to be picking up form at the right time, looking like they could potentially get top 4. And they're keeping clean sheets as well. Yeah, it's a no-brainer for me to move to Van Dijk from here because of the fixtures, because of the blank in game week 31. Fantasy Football Hub see it as the same. 15.1 points predicted for Van Dijk, whereas 12.4 fixtures for Munoz. Munoz, I mean, he's played against Man United and got attacking returns, and against Tottenham, I think he got an attacking return in that game. So, it could be the worst time to do it, but Man United are a different side from last season. Tottenham seem to be worse, so there's always a chance that Munoz could get something in that game as well. But I just like the fixtures. I'm attacking the fixtures. I really base my moves on fixtures because that's something you can trust, right? Like, if you keep picking players who have good fixtures, eventually you will be rewarded with those players getting you the returns. So yes, Munoz could come back to bite me. I mean, from my mindset and the way I play this game, attacking the easier fixtures is the way to go for me, and that's what I'm doing by getting in Van Dijk. Alright, so team selection for game week 28 with those 2 new transfers confirmed. Raya in goal. He's got Chelsea at home, so I could generally move to Dubravka. However, the fact that I've got Dango and Thiago in my team would mean it makes no sense whatsoever. I've actually got no Chelsea players except Gw, who doesn't ever play. So of course, you're going to play Raya. You're going to have that triple up in defence with Timber and Gabriel. Hopefully, eventually this triple up will pay off. It hasn't done so far. But Arsenal did manage to keep a clean sheet against Chelsea in the League Cup semi-final second leg, and that was at the Emirates. So fingers crossed they can do something similar this game week. Then Virgil, first game back in the team after I transferred him out many weeks ago. 28 points over the last 2 games. Hoping he can continue that form against West Ham, who failed to score at home to Bournemouth. West Ham seem to have improved their defensive set pieces, so another attacking return seems unlikely, but I take a clean sheet and some DEFCON points. Then into midfield, and Burmo and Fernandez have got Crystal Palace at home. Bruno is definitely worth considering as a captain, given he's playing Palace. who are struggling. I would say we're struggling at the moment. However, I would say, knowing Palace and Glasner, his tactics suit teams who dominate possession, and then Palace like to counter-attack, and that's where they exploit the space. The reason why we've been struggling of late is because we're playing teams that sit behind the ball and we have to break them down. Going to Old Trafford, playing Man United, who are in form, they're going to be dominating possession, and that will play into Palace's hands. Now, that doesn't mean that Palace are going to win the game. It doesn't mean that Bruno's not going to get any attacking returns, but I see it being a more difficult game for United, similar to how they struggled to break down West Ham in game week 26. So for that reason, and a bit of Palace coloured specs, I'm only going to put him as vice captain. Similar to Virgil van Dijk, Dango straight into the team for Burnley away. He's unlikely to be removed from the first 11 until our wildcard in game week 32. Only 1.8% owned, so a haul from him could see a spike in my rank, as I've already said. Anderson has Brighton away. Is he going to get an attacking return? He seems to be playing more offensive for Victor Pereira. He mentioned in his comments that he's playing further forward, which could allow him to get more shots on goal and assists. Fingers crossed that's something that could happen in the next coming weeks. Then Semenyo has Leeds away, a great fixture for Man City if they want to win the league. They need to win this game, so Semenyo could always get an attacking return there. Onto the forwards, and at the moment I've got Haaland as captain. He's got Leeds away. Leeds away is difficult. Leeds are a lot better at home than they are away, but let's not forget that Arsenal went there. Everybody thought it was going to be a difficult game for Arsenal, and they ended up scoring 4. So if that were to happen with City, who are also in very good form right now, especially offensively, Haaland playing against Leeds could always get 1 or 2 goals. So for me, I've got to go with Haaland as captain. And then obviously I've got Thiago up front as well because he's playing Burnley. He has a really nice run of fixtures now after a tough couple of fixtures. So hoping he can get some attacking returns like he did last time when I didn't own him and his fixtures were relatively easy. And that's it for this video. What are your thoughts on my transfers? Drop a comment below. Who have you gone for? I know a lot of people are talking about going for Wilson, Dango, Anderson, or another cheap midfielder like Sharda. If this video helped, like, comment, subscribe. If you missed my last 2 videos, Fantasy Focus and Transfer Targets for Game Week 28, they should be popping up now. As always, thank you for watching, green arrows, and enjoy the football.